What do I not have? What? Why would I not have some? Oh. I just don't have games on? Oh no. Oh, I'm good. Cool, cool, cool. Check, check. Test, test. Check, 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 check. Cool. Think it's sounding good. Alright, welcome back, ladies and germs. This is the return of Virtual Formula League Season 4, Race 2 in Bahrain today. This is PJ back on the mic, just stepping in for the people's comms. Gooders, shout out. Hope you're feeling better, man. Hope to have you back next week. Because I am good. But he is Gooders. I'm excited to call this season, though. It's looking like a very, very fun, exciting, competitive season we have going on here. Big shake-up in the grid, lots of new guys, lots of guys switching teams. I mean, I'm talking like this is race 1, but it's sort of just race 1 for me. First one I've really gotten to sit down and watch. So I'm excited for it. Bahrain, I think it's a very nice track. I don't know what the popular opinion is on it. Let me stop rambling and try to find who's going to be setting the first times of the day. I think it's for sure Aston Martin, who are both on their way for the first hot lap. That's Cole and Luke, but I believe it may have been... No, it's not Red Bull. Oh man, I'm so rusty. Oh, I'm sorry, JKS. I didn't mean to show that. No, it would have been Williams. Who's Williams? Oh, that's Tristan and Steph. I believe so. I think Steph helped Tristan to a nice little slipstream down both of the first two straights, and it looks like it is Tristan's hot lap to set. We have a Red Bull coming across the line now. I'm not sure if that's to start a lap or to finish one. Looks like it's to start one. Still no times on the board. We'll ride on board with Tristan for the rest of this lap to try to get a sense of where the times may be this quali session. And Tristan may be a good indicator since he has had his strokes of brilliance through quali sessions. Time to time finding himself up there in the top 3 after the 17 minutes pass. We'll see what goes on with this lap. 1:26.7 is the time to beat. It is now a 1:26.466. As we have quite a lot of drivers out on the medium tires right now. You can see Tom Taylor sitting a 1:27.7 on the mediums back in P4. And we'll try to see if last week's pole sitter is on a hot lap. I believe Dark is right now. Jensen and Sky for Alfa Romeo both set a lap up there. Sky on the medium tires, not too far back from his teammate, and getting ahead of Tom, who is the other medium runner going on. Let me just... Always good to check that the stream hasn't fucked itself up, as I think Dark has fucked himself up. When I looked away, he's out of that lap. What did I... Wait. Yeah, stream is on. Oh, the bot's dead. Got it. Oh yeah. That's what I was saying. As Dark and Rob, what their predicted pole time would be, just to get a sense. Dark gave me 1:25.8. Right now, Tristan on pole, about 0.6 off of it. But that is to be expected off of the first hot laps we see. Who's coming across the line now? Was that Swiss? Yes, Swiss going 1:27.0. He'll be in P4. This guy's name is going to be a load to pronounce. I don't know. Surtak. It's not that. Marius Daniel in the Haas, which I'm pretty sure, is he full-time seat now? Maybe? I think he is. Little under 3/4 of the grid with a time on the board. Still a few struggling to get their first one up there. Connor's not on a personal best at the moment. Try to find somebody who is. Cameroon is. We'll keep an eye on that. Rob may be on the medium tires. But we'll ride back on board with Cameroon. Still nobody has touched Tristan's 126.466 time yet, as Tristan now goes onto the medium switch. I don't know, I'm shit. Oh, Jesus. Cameroon's still driving. But I don't know, why would you go into the medium tires? You're not going to be able to beat that time, right? Like, why would you set a decent time on softs and then go on mediums? Jensen up with the 127.0, just 200 thousandths behind Cole's Epic. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm probably missing something. Cody JH07, new driver? Perhaps? AlphaTauri, full grid today, though. As is to be expected in VFL's 4th season, but now... Wait, okay. Bit of a lull as people going in for pit stops, coming out, getting the out lap done. I think Cody might be on a hot lap. JKS into the pits. Oda is on a hot lap in Sector 1. Dark does seem to be on a hot lap, and it would be his first of the session onto his second pair of soft tires. That first pair not doing anything for him. Somebody is off in Sector 2, looks like Alfa Romeo, but Dark set in purple Sector 1s here. We'll see if he can make this lap count. And again, I think the pole time as it stands is very, very beatable. I think people just haven't really been able to nail their first lap out. Usually you get 4 or 5 people who sort of stick it. Not today. Still a lot of changes to be made in this starting grid. And Dark looks like he's on for pole. He's set purple Sector 1 and 2. Sector 3, the easiest one of them. So wouldn't expect any funny business to be going on here. And we'll see if he can beat his proposed pole time of a 125.8. What? Oh my god, I was looking away and he invalidated. Golly, Tom Taylor up there with the 125.9. That will easily beat pole. Man, how did Dark sell that? Was it just on that last corner? I looked away because I thought it was like done with. Sky 2 tenths, basically 3 tenths up on his personal best, and he's doing what I think is a little more normal. Setting that baseline time on the mediums before switching to softs. But you'd like to see a fair bit more than 3 tenths. Well, that's the first sector, so that is a good improvement right there. We got 5 tenths. If it follows, he could be improving at about 7 tenths here, which would put him up right in the midst of P3 to P5. As he handles the last corner easily, coming across the line now, and it looks like a very good time for Sky. Improves by 8 tenths, goes up to P6. Oda got up there at P5, as did Steph, so their first laps both go top 5. Pretty good for them. Meanwhile, Marius, he beat his time by 3 tenths and has gone into P2, but now Tom finally putting some pressure on the rest of the grid. If you want pole, you're going to have to at least get into the 125s, which I would think we got 1 or 2 more drivers who will join Tom in the 125. Still 7 minutes left in The Bahrain night session. Scanning the rest of the grid for any surprises. Robert, he's down in P14, but honestly, Robert finds himself in the wrong position to start the race quite often and usually figures out how to manage. He is a whole second up on his time right now, and that is a good lap. He could be jumping all the way ahead of Surtak if this Ferrari can handle the last corner a little nicer, and he does so pretty much perfectly, playing it safe, cross the line, and I think that will be up into P2, even higher than I expected. So really good last sector from Rob. He gained 3/10 in that last sector. That's tough to do in my opinion. Well, I don't know how bad his last sector was on his first lap, I guess. Sky looks like he's heading into the pits, and now it is just Dark and JKS Racing who are yet to set times. JKS, I think in his first go at Tier 1. Maybe he was in here last season. I think he was, but the competition has definitely picked up this season going into Tier 1, so I think while JKS was sort of able to get along quietly last season, he's really struggling so far this season. Always lots of room to turn it around, and I mean, it's one race so far, so who am I to say, but he'll need to finish out this lap if he wants to start from anywhere but the back row. Now, definitely attention should be on Dark right now. Pole sitter last week, race winner last week, currently without a time on the board. His teammate has put in a fantastic lap, gone 1:26.3, which, by the way, still 4/10 of space from Tom to the rest of the grid. So Tom always seems to have the pace as of late, as Jensen that was pointing sideways in the curb. I'm not sure how much that affected Dark. Definitely a little, but if I were him, I think I would still finish this lap. I'm guessing it would probably, this is just guessing, probably would put him like P10 or something with that little mistake. But when you're in P20, P10's looking quite nice coming across the line now, and I am a dumbass. That's a 1:26.0, so I don't know if that Jensen incident really affected him or if he was just on an absolute banger. Regardless, though, Dark manages to get a time on board, joins his teammate, and joins Tom Taylor on the front row. Meanwhile, JKS did get a time on board. It wasn't too good. He's up in P18 right now. Don Rabico and Cameroon are at the back row of the grid. Tristan's time still hanging in there. That was his first lap, and it's still P5. And he did that on mediums. No, he didn't. He went softs onto mediums. There's one thing you can count on Williams for. Such just stuff, really. It's that German efficiency, boys, getting that slipstream in every place that it is possible. Here is quite nice. You get it on both these straights, although this one is a little stunted. I don't know if he gets the full effect, and is Robert on a hot lap. Nope, thought that could have gotten a little bit interesting. Meanwhile, Cole in the Aston Martin has DNF. At best, he will start in P11. And Tristan, with that double slipstream, has set a purple sector. And I mean, props to Tristan for some good quality laps throughout this season, throughout last season, but perhaps, oh well, no, last season he didn't have Steph, but really anybody with Steph as their teammate is going to be getting about 2 or 3 tenths on most quality laps taken off, because he is so disciplined on that slipstream. I feel like he's the only team that does it every single week in, week out. And right now it is paying off for Tristan as he comes through Sector 2 with another purple sector. He's 2.5 tenths? That doesn't make any sense. He's only 2.5 tenths, that would just put him like P2. So we'll see what happens in this final sector. I've seen 2 purple sectors, but yet I don't expect this to be pole, really. Yeah, that's P3. Game broken. Connor Kidd's struggling. He's all the way down in P16. And where's Mirko? He is not here. That's where Surtak is in. Sky sitting at P10 right now. A little precarious position. He would love to get a good lap in here. So the worst thing he can do is improve by like a tiny bit. Because yeah, now he's P11, which is a lot better than P10. Who just went up there? Was that Cody? Yeah, Cody split Tristan and Robert. Robert goes down to P5. Sky won some award, didn't he? Did he win underrated? Underrated driver? Did he tie? Is he second? Something like that. P11 now coming through sector 2. He is 2/10 down. That's a little tricky though. Oh, you know what? The grid is so tight from P11 to P7 that 2/10 would do quite a bit of good. And he's going to bail on it. I think he wants to go with that alternate strategy. I don't blame him. I think he was going to be like P7, P8, which could be a very difficult place to be. 20 seconds left in the qualifying session. Tom Taylor has finished his, so he will leave his time up there to see if anybody can join him in the 125s. I was wrong with my predictions. There's been nobody that has joined him, but we do have one more lap around to see if that holds up. Does Nice Job get across the line? He does. He gets up into P5 and he gets the shot at another lap if... I don't think he has the fuel. Probably wasn't going for 2 laps there. Robert and Dark on hot laps, although it's Robert's invalidated. Darks is still looking good. I missed the sector 1 time. We'll ride on board to see if he can crush sector 2. Gonna try to keep my eye on who else is coming across the line. I think that may be yeah, I think that may be Oda on a outlap. Really happy I checked that. I think AlphaTauri will be our next driver across the line, and that would be Swiss if he is on a hot lap. Coming across the line now. We'll see if his name moves. It does not. Dart coming into sector 2, and he is almost a 10th up or down. Which way do you say? On his personal best. He's not beating anything. It looks like Tom will hold pole. And Dark will join him on the second row. I don't see anybody else that's going to be challenging that. Oda, 4/10 down? Wait, no, but... I don't think this lap got in time. What? I swear he didn't get across the line. But that is the only other person to watch, so I guess we'll watch it. Oh, yeah. Alright. I believe it was Tom Taylor P2. No, yes. Tom Taylor P2 in qualifying last week. I'm pretty sure. So Dark and Tom, King of the Castles, taking turns on the throne. This time it is Tom Taylor's P1 to hold. But, just like last week, a whole lot can happen. Oh! I'm gonna go here. only 300 separate Tom and Dark, and then from there it's a little bit more of a gap, but altogether still pretty tightly packed. Where does it finally reach a second at all? Yeah, so just the bottom 4 outside of a second from pole. It's a pretty good quali size, should be a good one. Haas with a very good quali. Man, Robert went all the way down to P9. He was in P2, didn't set a better lap, and then goes down to P9. Some good final laps in session. I miss watching these races. Feels good to be tuned in. It's the formation lap underway. Who will be our spinner of the day? I don't know. Maybe we've cleaned our act up a bit in season 4. But I swear to God, every race I've called, 20 drivers have not made it back. This is ridiculous. I'll never not be upset by this. Connor, Steph, Oda. The difference between those colors is just absurd. Just make Alpine, like, just do 2 color indicators. I don't know if that would work. They gotta do something. From 14 to 19, it's all teammates. Goes to AlphaTauri, then Aston Martin, then McLaren. Pretty funky. Then we got Haas up at 4 or 5. Good job, Dark, or whoever. I don't know who allocated teams, really, but it seemed to be pretty even within the teams and between the teams. As constructors, Ferrari obviously out to a hefty early lead with that 1-2 in Portimao, but Haas had a good showing, and Mercedes is somehow definitely the second favorite. Like, you would think Mirko and Connor would be ahead of Ferrari, ahead of Mercedes, but so far Mercedes has looked like both of their drivers, Noyce and Tom, have just been grinding this game, getting better. And it is paying off as both of them are now competing for wins alongside of the OGs. Right. This is not a jinx, just a observation that Tristan has found himself in a very good starting position more than once. Not sure if he's kept that good starting position more than once. Something to watch here. Maybe a little bit of nerves once you get the feeling that you're about to be racing for the win. You can easily spin on the start or lose it. Regardless, we will not have to wait much longer. Season 4, race 2 at Bahrain is underway. 29 laps, 5 lights, and they are out. And it seems like Dark, I think he's gonna know. Tom does cover, and it's Don Rabico who has an insane start going up the inside for P1, and now Sertak, he might grab Dark. Oh, and it's a huge collision, and there's nothing I can really say about that except just wait until it shakes out and try to track the biggest losers. It is Sertak who falls all the way to the back of the grid, Dark falling all the way back to P9, Cole taking the inside on Sky, but Sky's gonna hang with it, and that is Don Rabico with an early lead from his fantastic start. Oda up into P3, getting a little bit wiggly on that curb, but holding it, and now things seem to calm a little bit down. I think that might have been Sky going too wide there as Dark gets up into P8, and Swiss, is he the one spinning their yellow flags up for a little bit? Lots of action. Sky tries to answer back down the inside, gives a little bit of a shoulder nudge to Dark, and that will allow Tristan, who did fall back to P10, to get up into P9, and now nice job made collecting the spot from Dark as well. Does Dark have damage? He is losing positions by the boatload here. He does try to hang it back and get on Noise. He definitely does not have damage. Just a rocky start for the Ferrari driver. And now he'll come out side by side in Noise with Noise. Battling for P10. More yellow flags. That's in Sector 1 where nobody is. Good stuff. Here goes Tristan. He's got the slipstream and soft tires on Sky. You would think he would have the advantage here. Does he have the ability to outbrake him? Little bit of contact out of there. It can get even more squirrely coming out of this turn as we see Cody on the sideline, Oda on the sidelines. Lots of shakeups going on, and I gotta get some telemetry going on. Nice, gets the position, but Tristan with a great switchback, and Tristan, oh, he's swerving out of the turn, and this is a very tight pack. Let me get to the back of it in Dark to see what's going to shake out. That's Jensen losing a spot. Dark trying to get back up into the fray. Tristan has managed to get ahead in this train for now. But this group seems to be battling throughout these first 2 laps very, very closely. As we can see, position change. Man, I apologize. Cole is epic. I did not realize you had gained 12 spots, and what a shakeup this has been. What happened to Don Rabico? Oh, I missed him. He must have been one of the cars that went off. An incredible start from the Haas driver. He now finds himself back in P16, and it is Cole who's gained 12 spots. Steph has gained 8 spots. Robert has gained 7 spots, and Sky with 9 spots, as well as JKS. Lots of big losers, lots of big winners. And I think, is Sky the only one here? Where do I see this shit? Oh no, so we have 3 of the top 6 who are going on the alternate strat and now find themselves in a very, very favorable position just after 3 laps. Dark with a very, very difficult start here, but he has managed to control the race decently. Nice job mate has been going up and down, but he's only really just lost 1 position, I believe. Man, I mean, when there's a huge clusterfuck through turn 1, you sort of just got to sit back and wait to talk about it. But I did not realize Steph and Cole and Robert were blazing their way through that. Would love to see their POVs. As DRS has been activated for the first time on this straight, and that is Tristan making the move on Cole. Cole taking the inside. Tristan getting on that outside of the track. Is he going to try to cut back on the inside? That's going to send Tristan spinning and right into Sky. Oda's disqualified. You can sort of see that one coming from a second away. Luke J. Gilly out of the race. Virtual safety car is out. Tristan with a 5-second penalty. Oh dear, did Tristan also happen to slide into Luke J. Gilly? That's the only thing that I can think of that would have resulted in a penalty for Tristan and a DNF. for Luke J. Gilly. Regardless, keeping up with the action, this benefits the soft runners very nicely. A full safety car has been called, so Robert and the others who started on softs will go in, stop for hards in some cases, mediums in others. Tom Taylor thinks he can make the mediums last. If he's right, he's looking at a fantastic race position. Steph will stay out. Nice job made not going in. Not sure why that may be. Oh boy. Times like this, you just gotta wait for the Discord to tell me who's pissed at who. Actually, no, only Luke J. Gilly's out, so most of them still racing. Sky a little bit fortunate though. I mean, obviously not fortunate to get Tristan's car into his wing, but I believe he did get that pit stop right after that to fix that wing up and get a pair of fresh new medium tires. A little surprised that he didn't go on to hards, but I'm guessing he's going medium soft there. It's not out of line to think that we have more safety cars to come. Yeah, and even Tristan's car flying into Sky was from contact with Cole was epic. And that one, I don't know. Maybe hazard a guess of racing incident. Don Rabico saying somebody ruined his race completely. Welcome to racing in a video game, brother. I think one of those races where most everyone has had an incident affect them so far, just through the first 5 laps. Been very tight racing. I'll tell you one guy who hasn't had really any incidents affect him, and that has been Tom Taylor in the Mercedes. Don Rabico getting the jump on him in P1. But now that I think about it, the only person that could have ruined Don Rabico's race is the guy that was behind him. So perhaps Tom Taylor may have some answers for the FIA post-race. This is all just conjecture, filling the empty air as we get the safety car around and around. The stuff on 4-lap medium tires will have the lead of the race. Again, nice job made staying out on the 4-lap softs. He's the only soft runner to not pit under the safety car. And I'm guessing is going to go in this lap. Nice is a lot better than me, so I don't want to question too much. Or I can question, but I just can't insult because it will probably fly back in my face. But I do not get why he's not pitting. His safety car is in. We'll see if he has an advantage on this first braking zone here with those nice soft tires. Not a lot of close gaps through the safety car restart. Gonna filter back as they enter turn 1, and literally not a move being made. Dark Inferno trying to get one around the outside of T2, and he's gonna get it. Very good grip from that Ferrari. Oh no, and Noyce has got a P1. How'd I miss that? He got him on the back straight. Allah. And already JKS, who does find himself up in P4 thanks to that alternate strat, but he has a 1.5 gap up until Connor Kidd, and that is a little bit worrisome for those behind JKS who are trying to compete for the win. They do not want any of those front three to run away, and that's another yellow flag, and that is Marius Daniel in the Haas. Pointing the wrong way without a wing. Yellow flag still up. Looks like it will be cleared as we have side-by-side racing Jensen and Tristan. Mediums on softs, both 1 lap old, and that will be Jensen's corner. Up at the top though, Connor Kidd, he's in P3 on the alternate strat as well, which again, bears to said it a bunch of times, they are the ones who have really won out from the start of this race. And let's see the gap that Nice Job Mate can pull from Steph on the mediums, if any, and what he's going to do with it. Again, I would just have to imagine. I'll hold that because Tom Taylor's about to sink this dive bomb into turn 1 on the McLaren. Darsan going to try to get the switchback, but it's just not there. A little bit of wheel spin will stop him from making the move. As Sky getting past Surtak in the Red Bull. Sky passing the car he once drove, and now he'll have to defend from it. He chooses the inside. And does a nice job on it, but it does feel like Surtak getting a little bit close and maybe looking to make a dive into one of these upcoming corners, which is very friendly to dive bombs right there. Sky does give him the room nice enough, and he'll come out side by side. He's given them the room but not the position. Swiss getting by JKS up ahead on the straight, and Sky doing a fantastic job of defending. This is how you hold the position. Both 2-lap medium runners, and Sky out driving the Red Bull. Great stuff from him. Gonna ride on board because it looks like Cole may even be struggling a little bit. And I see Tom close to JKS. If I had to hazard a guess, I would expect him to be making a move through turn 1. Just going to sort of call the shot out there and go back down to Surtak, who's trying to make a move around the outside of Sky. Again, these two very close battling. Once again, Sky defending as close as he can while still keeping it legal. That is great stuff from him. He'll go to the right side of the straight to get the slipstream. And Surtak, though, running lower wings, gets the pass on the straight. No DRS, no nothing, but he does get into the side of the Aston Martin, nearly spins him, and still manages to hold on to the spot ahead of Sky. Darsan going too deep. That's going to leave the door open for Dark, but not wide enough. And don't try overtaking through this part of the track. Will result in pain. Dark, though, he's going to be making a dive bomb. You can tell he was itching for a move. He's trying to work those hards. Darsan, though, with a great defense, not letting him have it easily. And that really was the spot that Dark wanted to grab that. He's not going to be able to do it on this straighter turn. There was this opportunity, and Darsan doing a great job of holding him up. So, while overtakes are always a joy to watch, getting some very good entertainment from the defensive moves today. And what happened to Sky? Oh no, is these three going gearbox to front end? Sky was at the front of this train, now he's at the back of it. It must have just been a short spin, not a big shunt. Jensen, though, crawling all over Cole, and is trying to line up a wide exit on this final turn, and he does so. And look at the grip that Jensen has over these hard runners. He won't have a slipstream. Oh no, guys. But he will. Oh boy, lots of passes. Dark does get by Darsan now. In goes Jensen on the inside, Sky around the outside, and they're still keeping it clean. And now Surtak is in the back of the pack. So Jensen nearly getting shoved off on that straight. Oh, look at... Oh, yeah. But Jensen's softs just giving him the advantage on that straight to get him ahead of Cole, Sky, and Surtak, who Surtak tried to go for another move on Sky. And you can't expect him to open the door for you every single turn. I think Sky was doing a good job of playing that fair. Finally got a little bit too aggressive and Surtak goes off. Tom Taylor getting by Swiss with the DRS. And now Tom in the fresh, clean air 4-lap mediums. I have a feeling that he may be about to show some of this pace. Connor always does have good pace as well, so we'll keep an eye on that 2-second mark to see if Tom can close it. Meanwhile, these front three have not changed around. They've stayed very tight, and nice job made is driving those softs into the ground. He's sticking with this soft to medium strategy no matter what happens. There goes Tom with the fastest lap. So I was sort of thinking what happened is Connor sends it on the inside of Steph will hope to defend in turn 2. It's a very tricky turn to defend through. Invites lots of contact as it does there, but they keep it clean. Tom nearly getting got by Swiss. He does defend, and it's Sky in another battle, this time with Cola's Epic. They'll come out on top, which is not the good place to be with this DRS. Cole's going to try to go on the outside. He has to cut back instead. The hard tires just aren't yet there for him. Sky with a little bit more grip going through this twisty section of the track, and he will hold on to P11. And now Marius Daniel in the Haas. He sets the fastest lap. Is Don Rabikill getting by Tristan. And lots of action to keep up with this race. It's been a good track for overtakes. And I gotta say, that 2-second mark that I was talking about with Tom, expecting him to show some pace, he has shown it. He has closed the gap into DRS zone. His nice job mate goes into the pits and speeds as he does so. He took his sauce to 10 laps and now will serve an extra 5 seconds as he switches on to the mediums. But Tom Taylor just already catching up to the front three, granted on a little bit fresher tires, but still mightily impressive pace to do so. And Dark is just not able to get by JKS. He's been trying his best for a few laps now, and those hards are gonna start coming into form as they perhaps are right now. Getting the inside grip on that turn will get ahead before the next part of the track and should be safe from any response attacks from JKS. And now Dark will have his teammates back end to look at. He is a little less than a second, so Robert has got to hurry up if he wants to keep Dark off of his back. They're on the same lap tires, but Robert just barely out of DRS. Oh, and Steph has got to be shaking in his Lederhosen or something, because he is out of DRS range from Connor Kidd, who's chilling in P1 for now. But Tom Taylor, the bullet, is coming on his back. A little bit of swerving from Steph that will do nothing to hold Tom off as he easily takes P2. Steph making a little cutback because Tom went too deep there, but Tom able to take that next turn and recover very nicely. Don't think Steph will be able to respond back, and now it is only a matter of time until that Mercedes catches up to that Red Bull, I fear. Sky more battling with Cole. Surtak has DNF'd. Not sure what happened with him. There's a yellow flag, but it looks like he was in the pits when he did so. And this group is back. JKS joining the fun. Oh goodness. Oh Lord. Thought that was going to get a little bit messy. But the midfield been quite an entertaining battle so far with the likes of Cole, Sky, Tristan, Surtak, Rip. And again, everybody has been on the wrong side of incidents, it seems, but sometimes it's just the way races go, and really can take 2 or 3 incidents to actually take you out of the race. Wait, did Noise not serve that 5 seconds in the pits? Why not? Why won't he have served? I gotta stop talking because it is embarrassing when I just reveal my ignorance. Tristan sliding into the back of the AlphaTauri, but still controls it, and he's going to be on for the overtake. He's got a lot more speed. Not sure if that's wing setup or just the way they took that corner, but that is an easy overtake for Tristan, and now he's back to chasing down Sky. Nice putting on those soft tires, which will last him to the end of the race, set in fastest lap. As Robert battling with Swiss. Well, Robert getting ahead of Swiss. I'm pretty sure Swiss was ahead of both Ferraris until now. And Dark is going to be joining this and making it a 3-driver battle. I guess it is important to remember that a lot of drivers stopped on that first safety car, and most of them, when they did so, went on to the hard tires because it was a lap 3 safety car. Tom Taylor did go on to the mediums, so he is the one who's got to make these last 16 more laps. I would expect. I don't think he's going for a 2-stopper, but again, I am not good at that stuff. So Tom, all to say, should have some increased pace right now, but it will all be to see how much of a lead he can pull out if he wants to battle with these hard runners towards the end of the race. That's Swiss, Jensen into the pits. Whoa. Sky making a move on Cole is epic. Once again, a little bit of contact. Once again, coming into turn 2, and is that... Oh, that's Tristan around the outside, coming off screen. Oh, I thought I saw some movement at the top. Oh boy, Cole going into the side of Cody, and Cole just finding himself in every battle, it seems, this race. He will have to get himself facing the right direction and carry on. Cool down his tires and try to get back into the fray, but that's tough to recover from when you're battling in the midfield. So Swiss went into the pits, which released Rob and Dark to battle each other. They've got nearly a 2-second gap to Steph, who, mind you, still has to pit, as does Connor. So it's really, they're just chasing down Tom Taylor. And while they're both chasing down Tom Taylor for the time being, it will be Dark chasing down Rob without DRS, which may come as soon as this turn 1. Connor does head into the pits, as does Steph. And now everybody has made one pit. Alright. I think this is set up for a very interesting finish. Tom Taylor has a very safe lead. He has clean air. He's got nobody to battle with. He's cruising. All he needs to worry about is the degradation of his tires and that of the 2 Ferraris chasing him down behind him. After that, it is still Don Rabico, who has recovered quite well to get back up into P5. And Darsan still hasn't pit, I don't think. Yeah. Sky is also on for a very, very good finish, which shouldn't be too surprising considering, well, I mean, he got a favorable alternate strat for this race, but he also did get a Williams into his front end. So, great drive from Sky so far. He's been involved in a lot of battling, has been playing it very well. As I say that, he gets done up by Tristan with a nice little switchback. Sky's not going to give it up. They're going side by side through the and a little bit of friendly bumping. Rubbing is racing, as they say in the States. Tristan now will try to answer back on the inside, and Sky just dummies him, but a little too hard. He let Cody through, Cody's going to get the lead and DRS. Sky will be able to pass Tristan quite easily, but he's not going to be able to get by Cody now. Oh boy, who's that? That's a nice job made flying up the side on those soft tires. And he's going to come out on top, I think. Again, lots of contact through these first two turns, as you can expect. Gotcha. Oh. Tristan gets a 5-second penalty. A virtual safety card came out. I was looking elsewhere. All I saw was Sky seemingly brake check Tristan, but it really was him just slowing down for the VSC. And then Tristan ends up with the penalty. Maybe he, like me, was not paying too close attention and didn't see the virtual safety car. Who's this for anyways? I don't know. Okay, so you know who this really helps though is this man right here, I believe. I don't know. Will anybody else pit? Obviously Darsan is gonna pit. He'll throw on soft tires. And that'll be great for him. He's now looking at a really, really strong finish. And Tom Taylor's into the pits. He's not going to try to take these mediums to the end. So that will turn the tables. Never mind, both Ferraris following him in as well. So Darsan gets to keep his P4. Even nice job going into the pits. Was he trying to get a little... Nice job made. Does finally serve that 5 seconds. That's tough for him. He was another bullet flying through the grid on those soft tires. As now it gets a little fun. Why did Darsan... Why did Darsan put on hards? I mean, softs will comfortably take you to the end once this restart goes, and he was on medium, so you have to go soft or hards, but I feel like the... Oh, this is going to be a great race. Going to be a great finish. We're going to have about 10 laps to square this thing out, and it's pretty much even Steven as you see it on the grid. Tom Taylor with a lead. How did Connor... Well, Jensen jumped Robert because... Oh... I see. Connor pit the lap before the safety car came out, so that's looking quite nice for him, although he is on hards, which will not feel nice for him. Jensen pit 2 laps ago, so he's going to ride those mediums to the end. That's looking pretty good. Oh, boy. So it's Tom Taylor's race to lose from here. He has P1, fresh soft tires, and a... not slow car, but Connor on the hards, giving him a buffer between Dark and Robert, who are still the ones who will be coming for him. I'm really still bummed about Darsan, because I thought if he was in P6 right now on fresh soft tires, he would have every chance to battle and keep that spot for P6, but now I feel like he's just going to have to do damage mitigation and try to stop as many people from passing him, but it'll still probably be a decent amount. All to race for, as they say, with 10 laps left to go. Going down the line, Don Rabico in P7, but I have a feeling he may be flying. He has a knack for starts. Good race from him. Sky, I think I've said, has had a really strong race in my opinion. Race John Mate has sort of been zigging when everyone else has been zagging. It does seem like he put on the wrong tires. Maybe that's what happened to Darsan as well. But I think back here is just going to be more entertainment for these final laps. We have Tristan, Cole, Noyce, and Sky, who have been battling and will continue to battle for the last 10 laps of this race as the safety car is going around one more time. Golly. I think I've said all I can say about this. Alright, so we'll be lap 20 once the safety car goes in. And it will be Arc Inferno who will really be itching. Oh, it just hit me. Ferrari had the double stack, so that's why Roberts was a little slower than Darks. Jensen gets ahead of him, unfortunate for Robbie, who's racing with the 12. Shout out, twins. Ten laps left to shake out the second race of season 4. Tom Taylor, who has been on a mission this season, just got the feeling that he's coming for the title. And indeed, he's putting up a good fight for it. He has led most of this race. If you're looking at true position. And he finds himself leading the safety car restart here with Connor on the hards, left in his dust surely. Will Dark be able to make a move turn 1? Will there be any contact through turn 1? Cody right on the back of the Haas, but I'm going to stay up front. And it doesn't look like any drivers will make a move up here. Robert does get a move on Jensen. A beautiful little dive bomb down the inside. Cody trying to get the spot back, or another spot rather, on Darsan, who likewise to Connor is just trying to hold on those hards. These soft runners are right where they want to be, especially through this part of the track where the traction really counts. Robert gets a little unsettled on that curve, but he has a little gap of safety. Sky getting up onto the back of the McLaren, not able to make a move, and there goes Dark down the inside. Connor counters back, and now they'll go side by side, not side by side, rather. Connor gets out a nice little lead. Robert is the one who's putting pressure on Dark, goes a little hard over that curb. Robert with a very shaky physical first lap, but he has held position, and Dark meanwhile is just trying everything he can get through to get by Connor. As you can see, Tom Taylor is just driving into the sunset, or sunrise I guess, because what time it is. But Tom Taylor, 2-second gap, and this is exactly what he is hoping for off of this safety car restart. It is going to take some sort of miracle for any of these guys to catch up from him from this point on, but still lots of action left to be watched as here goes both Ferraris Dark will surely get the pass before the turn, and he'll have the superior break in. Rob trying to sneak up the inside as well, and it's 3 wide into turn 1. Ferraris both get by the Red Bull, and now the 2 Ferraris will go side by side as Robert does come out ahead. What a move by Robert. A double overtake through 2 turns, and Connor isn't giving this up that lightly. He's looking on the inside of Dark and does manage to go for it, but Dark just has the better grip. There's nothing Connor can really do about that. He will still battle, but it is just not his race on these hard tires. It would take a lot for him to get that spot back. Oh, Jesus. Cody comes in on the inside with the dive bomb off screen. I love when that happens, and he's up into P4 now. And Connor has to be a little bit frustrated. He knew he would probably... Oh. And the leader of the race has just left the session. Said, you guys are so bad, my AI can finish this one for me. Tom with a 2-second gap no longer. His AI quickly losing it for him, and what has happened? Tom's Wi-Fi is turned off. His first win of the season has been thrown away. Disconnected with 8 laps left to go, and the win nearly in his pocket. His Wi-Fi turns off. It's not a spin. It's not a crash. It's the old Sky Wi-Fi problem. I'm pretty sure Sky lost Imola due to something similar, and that is tragic. I can't believe it. Tom surely deserving of this win. But that's the way she goes. I think Tom may be able to get back and still have a fight at this, but it will take a couple minutes, and he will surely be back in P4 or P5 by the time he returns, if at all he does. Meanwhile, Connor battling with the Haas and Don Robico through this part. Oh, and both Ferraris will get the pass on the one-time race leader. And this is the close. Oh my God, Tom's AI, a little ruthless. This is the close. This is the closest you can get to a mechanical failure in the F1 video game. Heartbreak. Oh, Tom's back. He's in P4. All right, let's go. Drive of the season right here. Can Tom get back in his car? It's the first question. I still think he's yet to join. It's a yellow flag in Sector 3. That's Cameroon going off, as we've had JKS also lose track of the rest of the group. And Tom... is the game just wrong? Is he back? Oh, and there's a VSC. For what? For what? For a little wing? Nah. Don't... just call it the safety car. Come on. Gotta race to race. There we go. Safety car taken off. Left to race, and Tom Taylor lost 3 positions. We'll have 6 laps to get him back. Cody, meanwhile, put some praise on him. He has driven into P3 and looks to have every chance to hold it or nab a position or 2, and I believe, maybe I am wrong, but I think this may be one of his first races in the league. Very impressive debuttal from the AlphaTauri driver. Sky right on the back of Connor. Impressive pace from him. Connor's still on those hards, but they should... that disadvantage that he suffered from on the safety car restart should become sort of negligible by this point. Swiss is off at the start of Sector 3. And do we have any moves going on? Tom gotta be a little angry. He thinks he's deserved this win. He thinks he deserves this P3. Can he get it from the AlphaTauri? There's just not room there. And he nearly flies off. That would have been a disaster for Mercedes. Instead, he wrestles the car back the other way and lives to battle another lap. And all of a sudden, this is Robert Diaz's race to win. He's got no DRS. He's got 4 cars with equal tires chasing him. So it will all come down to skill of the Irishman. His teammate is his biggest threat at the moment back in P2. I just have a feeling that Tom is going to be through to P3 before too long, the way this kid has been driving throughout the first 2 races. We'll see if Cody can hold him back so far. I think that first defense through turn 1 was legal. It was quite a gutsy dive bomb from Tom. And here we go once more. The checkered flag straight into turn 1. Will this be Dark's turn to make a move? Will he be considering just laying off the pressure for now and trying to get him at a better time? No move to be made there. Robert does have way more ERS though, and he's going pretty darn deep into that turn 2. Dark will have the DRS slipstream coming on this other straight, but is this the spot that Dark wants to overtake? It is. Robert looking for a cutback. Again, a very big difference between their ERS banks. We'll see if that comes into play. As at times like this, it often can be a lot better to be P2 than P1. Tom, look at that, right on the back of the AlphaTauri, and now he's going to get the inside into this downhill tight turn. Cody, lots of bumping. Cody back in P4. Tom pushes him out. Gets P3, but loses a bit of time to those prancing horses. They were within a half second. Now it's dropped back to about 7/10, but with 4 laps left to go, I think there will be plenty of time to catch up. Dark still running fairly low on ERS, 28%. Something to worry about at this point in the race, as his teammate stocked up with 80 and ready to spend it. And spend it he does. Flies by Dark Inferno. Will easily get turn 1, and these two trade the race lead back and forth, as now Tom is right on the back of them though. Once there are 2 drivers you're defending from, it becomes a lot more trickier to make those strategic decisions, such as letting one guy by or not going for an overtake. If there's another driver in the mix, those mistakes can compound quite easily, as we have some good midfield racing between Connor and Noyce. Look at them going wheel by wheel very nice and safely. And oh, is that Cody? Cody spinning. Did not have an eye on that, if it was contact with Tom or if it was just a spin, but regardless, Tom now has taken a little pressure off himself, and now it is just these 3 competing for a win. Don Radico still can, if he has superior pace, has every chance to catch up and make a run at it, but it would surprise me a little. He's 1.4 back with no DRS. Oh, and Cody falling further. Cody. All alone. Steph with a very good race. He's up in P7 and he's on the back of Sky. But really the action I should be watching is right here at the front. It's the 2 Ferraris. Goes side by side into turn 1. Tom in the background trying to spy an opening, but it won't be quite yet. Dark takes the lead. Robert takes the DRS. And he'll see if he can get back. He's going to choose the outside to make it, but you can see he lifting off into that next turn. Doesn't have interest in making the overtake right now. He may know that he's got the ERS advantage, and the best time to make an overtake is the lap before the checkered flag. And may be what is going through Robert's mind right now, but he does have Tom Taylor to worry about, so if you let off too much, you could find yourself losing his place instead of gaining one. Regardless, it is down to these 3. for the race win, pending any reports. I can't say that I remember any blatant penalties these three should expect to have coming, but there's a lot of drivers to watch, and I can only watch a few of them at a time, so who's to say? They all are, though, penalty free in terms of warning, which, golly, I feel like a couple seasons ago there were rarely any races that we would have this clean of driving. Love to see the upped competition, love to see the new kid on the block pushing the old vets for a race win. Teammates battling each other, and they gotta watch out for the Mercedes, who's creeping into P2. Goes into P1 on a dive bomb, and he may just get DRS on the next turn too. He will. Robert takes the lead, and now it's going to be Tom who will get the DRS and the slipstream. He's going to go around the outside. He's not going for it quite yet. He'll hold on to P2, may look for the cutback. It's lap 28. Doesn't have a lot of time to go as he gets in front of Robert for this very slippery section, and now it's the Ferraris who are chasing Tom once again. The turntables, and Tom back in P1. Internet holding up for now. Can he hold up for the remaining lap and a half? Lots of excitement here at the finish, and honestly, shout out to Tom's internet for making this one a close one. So it does look like Don Rabico in the Haas will have a very good finish. Looking at a P4, not sure what's up with Jensen's pens, but it would be most likely nice job made in P5 after that if he can hold off Sky. Just sort of getting that all sorted now as we see Connor very close to Steph, because in this final lap it is going to be all about these front three. This is where Tom made the move on both Ferraris last time. He's going to have to defend from just one this time. Robert going down the outside easily takes P1 into T1. But now Tom getting the DRS that he used last time to take the lead, but Robert with a very good exit, and I think he's going to be using up all that DRS that he's had saved, and he is able to secure P1 at the most crucial part of the track, at the most crucial part of the race, and it's looking very good for the Irishman right now, who will just have to keep it steady and withstand one more DRS zone for the win. It looks like Dark will have to settle for P3 as Tom nearly loses it. Will that open the door for Dark? Not really. He recovers quite easily, but that will almost surely close the door for Tom. This was the DRS straight that Robert was going to have to defend for. No defending needed, just needs to keep it on track. Tom Taylor, brilliant drive at some parts, hampered by some external issues, will have to take P2 for now. Surely a race winner in the future, but just not today. It is Robert's win. It is the second Ferrari winner this season. Robert wins. Tom comes second. Don Ravico comes third, and Dark... Wait. What penalties were... Why did Tom drop? What a drive from Robert Diaz. Oh, I don't know what to say about that one. It got a little bit... I got a lot sticky. I don't get how Dark is still P3. I don't get how Tom is P5. Don't really get how Nice is P4. Very entertaining race from my point of view. I'll wait for the podium to finish. How did Dark finish P3? Who had penalties? Did Tom get... Okay, thank you. Shout out, Lim. Thank you, Lim. So what? Tom is P... So Tom P2, Don Radko P3? Let me get some interviews going to sort this sucker out. Let me get Robbie in here first of all. Wait. What the fuck is going on? Robert, how the hell are you doing?
I'm doing very well after that one, thank you.
That...
Feels good.
At what point did you think you had a shot to win that one?
Only when I saw Tom Taylor has left the session. That was the moment I saw that. Before the safety car came out, though, to be fair, I think it would have been me or Dark anyway. I don't think he was going to catch the 20 seconds he needed to make another pit stop with. But, yeah, he was very unlucky, all the same. Lucky win in the end, but hey.
Yeah, and then walk me through... I'm trying to sort of go through the play-by-play here. I think Tom got past both Ferraris into turn one with a few laps left to go, and then you were able to get him back right at the end. Do you prefer to... Is that exactly where you want that overtake on that turn two DRS exit?
Yeah, kind of was. I was actually... It's interesting, I'm teammates with Dark, but I was in the party with Tom, so I kind of knew what he was trying to do in a way. And then I saw he had no ERS, and yeah, at that moment I knew, yeah, I'll just get him back on the straight. It should be an easy pass, and it was. And then I don't know what happened to Dark at the end, but he seemed to just bin it at the final corner.
Yeah, it was just the last corner.
Yeah. He was lucky not to DNF anyway, but it's good for the team. He won 3 or 4. So,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it was P4 for Dark. That is P2 for you in the first race, P1 in the second race. Are you feeling like this is your championship to win? Who do you think are your biggest contenders? Are you not even worried about that?
No, I don't think I'm going to win because I'm going to miss at least one race in the middle of the season, maybe 2 or 3. So.
Oh, geez,
really
exams?
Yeah. So I'm not really in the championship fight probably this year, but nice to get wins on the board anyway. I think it'll be between Dark and Tom this year. They seem to be the two fastest. Even compared to me, I couldn't really keep up normally.
Yeah, and speaking of Tom,
circumstances.
Speaking of Tom, he's the one that I'll be inviting shortly after we finish this up. He seems to be coming onto the grid with some found pace that we have not seen from a driver in a while. I feel like he's just been a bullet in every race. How do you think you stack up with him? Do you think you make up for that pace that he has in other parts of your game? Do you think he's just in a better form right now? What do you think about him?
Well, the reason is because he does a lot of practice before each race. That's where he's finding
So
his
do
pace.
you, Rob. I
anyway.
know you. You're in the lab every day.
Hey, I can tell you, I did 0 minutes of practice for this race. Okay.
I don't think you've ever done any practice once ever. Period.
Yeah, rarely. No, sometimes I did a bit for Portugal, and I was still a bit slow there anyway. But
oh, nice.
Yeah, I think if he can continue to practice for every race this season, I think he will probably win the championship.
All right, well, big words coming from a race winner who just took it to him. But yeah, as you said, you got some absent races coming up. Thank you for joining. I'm going to invite Tom and Sky now. And congrats on the win. That was a really fun one and a great drive from yourself. See you, Rob. Oh. Sky, how you doing, man?
Stressed.
Yeah?
To say the least. Oh, sorry, I need to mute the stream. There we go.
Yeah, that seems like one of those races where everybody had one or two incidents that they had to battle through, and it was just about who could have the least shitty race. But you seem to battle through them pretty well. I feel like the camera was on you for a lot of the race. How do you feel the race went?
To be honest, it went. I mean, the start was amazing and stuff like that. With the car put the pile up and stuff at turn one, I did the opposite of what I did last time we raced it, and went through the middle of it instead of getting caught up this time. But I got up to I think it was P7 or something like that. Had all the fast guys as well behind me and was holding them up. Well, for a couple laps at least. Nice job, Dark and Tristan, who all on softs. So
and what position did you finish? P5?
I think it was P6, I believe. P6 or P7? No, P7.
Very nice. And if you're talking looking forward in the season, is that sort of right where you think you are? Do you think that this performance is going to be one of your best? How does it stack up to your expectations?
I would say I'm probably around P9, P10.
Gotcha.
Especially with looking and stuff. I'm not sure if this is just a one-off with certain people, but people who I thought were faster than me, I can actually outpace. So.
Yep.
So that's something good to know and stuff like that for the future. But
for sure, I mean, I think you were battling for a while with guys like Connor.
Yeah.
Guys like, I don't know, trying to remember Cole, even, who I've always thought Cole has pretty good pace.
Had a good battle with Cole and stuff like that. He did send an audacious dive bomb, which did spook me a bit. Let's just say that.
Did that spook you more or less than a flying Williams into your wing?
I would say I was more annoyed at that at the latter. Sort of that, because I mean, I feel bad for Connor because he literally just lost the position just because he did just get sent, pretty much. I don't know. I can't really word it better, but.
Then what do you think? Most crucial part of the race that made or broke your race? What are you remembering most from this session as your best move, your worst move? What really stands out?
I mean, probably the bit that stands out was when I got front wing damage from the incident with Cole and Tristan, and sort of that. But I didn't really make. I would say my moves were that good and stuff like that. It was just kind of just basic late braking sort of thing. So I think I got a switch back on one person, but other than that, it was kind of just bland.
For sure. Well, it's gotta give you confidence going ahead, that knowing that you are in no way out of reach from the guys at the top. And speaking of, the last person in the party is suddenly one of the guys at the top. Tom Taylor, how you doing?
I'm alright.
How's your internet?
Really. Not very good. My LAN cable undid a bit at the back, and if I'd plugged it in earlier, I maybe came back earlier, but I didn't, so it did me in. But it was a really fun race, to be fair. I've
brought you here today to speak with Counselor Sky. I believe lost Imola in a similar fashion. Am I remembering correctly, Sky? Do you want to
remind me of that?
Do you want to talk the youngin through how you got through the sleepless nights of flashbacks, imagining the checkered flag, and how you overcame that? dark hole?
I can't say it because I'm gonna have to keep it PG. Let's just say that.
Fair enough. Tom, figure it out for yourself. But yeah, Tom, great race, man. You clearly have found an absurd amount of pace in this offseason and are suddenly, I think, the fastest pace-wise on the grid right now. I mean, probably you and Dark are at the top, and you're racing arguably more consistent. How does it feel to suddenly be one of the definite front runners in Tier 1?
It feels really good, to be honest. I feel like me and Cole have like swapped positions in this because he was normally like the one hanging back behind the front runners, but like, well, not like behind the front two, but now Cole's like smelly like I was in season 3. And yeah.
Do you think it's just been practicing? Do you think you're just sort of in the groove? What do you think is the secret to the success you found in the first 2 races so far?
So in season 3, I turned ABS off because I thought it was faster. And then I was running no assists for all the season 3. The start of season 4, I turned ABS back on and I gained about 3 tenths in every track.
So there it is. Just keep your ABS on.
Yeah. But like, I gotta give credit to Dark because I honestly thought he was just a time trial merchant, a quali merchant. Looking back at last season, like, I don't think he won a race that season, and then he was off to win 2 in a row. But your commentator's curse happened on me. I heard you say it's going to take a miracle to beat Tom Taylor.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, and I did not consider internet going out. But as I said on the stream, this is sort of the closest thing we get to F1 mechanical failure. So I suppose it happens every time, from time to time. So talk me through the crucial overtake to get you back into P1. That was coming out of turn 2. Is that where you're sort of planning to make that move every time? Sort of just like Charles did in real life, where that's the spot that you want to come out ahead of, or is it just where you found yourself able to make the move on both the Ferraris?
It's just where I found myself close enough, because obviously they were in each of his DRS, and like they kept on having to go side by side, and they were too wide. I blazed past Dark, and then I just went for a stupid send on Robert, but somehow it worked. I shouldn't have done it because I'd have had DRS for the last lap and I would have just taken the position back. But it is what it is, I guess. I'll come back to Jeddah and hopefully maybe get a podium there.
Yeah, I was about to ask, so if you sort of saw anything that you could have done to keep that P1 and stop Robert from getting the move back on you, and you think that was it? Sort of just holding off until the penultimate lap and spending the ERS there?
Yeah, but I drained my ERS like an idiot, trying to get past one of the AlphaTauris. And then I had nothing behind the Ferrari, so it was pretty hard. But Robert is a snake. He said to me, when I came back, he said, if I'm P1 and you're P2, I'm going to let you past at the end because that's so unfair what happened. He definitely wasn't expecting me to be P2 on the last lap, was he?
When did he say that?
When I loaded back into the party after lagging out.
I can confirm this, by the way. As we're all racing in the party.
What together. A bum. Obviously, he's not going to let you get a win.
He's scared for the championship. He knows I'm coming.
Yeah, so I asked Rob just a bit ago. He says that he's not really interested in the championship because he's going to be absent for 1 or 2 races. So sort of leaves just you and maybe Dark, but I think Dark's got some school schedules as well. Do you feel like you are the betting favorite to take the championship this season?
Well, technically I should be, but I'm a bit of a bottle job, so I doubt I'll be doing this every single race, especially in like Canada. I can't keep it on the track to save my life there, so gotcha. I might have to get MOC to race for me.
Yeah, it's legal. That's fine. That's what Sick Boy. That's what Sick Boy did for me all season, so it works out. Looking ahead to Jeddah, this goes to both of you. How do you think you'll fare? Is it a track you like, dislike?
I really like Jeddah.
Sky, are you still here? Oh, yep.
Yeah, I'm still here. I mean, to be honest, I remember last time we were there, and so I disconnected halfway through the race, and my AI was just strolling around. For the other half, so I mean I didn't really. But the thing is, that was when the track was first launched, so I didn't really have much practice on it. But I mean, I'm not exactly good at it, but I'm not bad at it. I do like street circuits, so the close walls do favour me, I guess. Since and plus I'm not to brag myself, I would like to say I'm one of the most consistent drivers in the tier, I'd say. In tier 1, so
There you go.
I mean, yeah, so hopefully that can help me.
Alright, good shit. That's some good shit. I think I've asked you guys everything I can ask about this video game race, so it's time to get on with our lives. We got race 1 in Portimao coming up for tier 2 on Sunday, Jeddah back on Thursday. Thank you all for watching, staying tuned to the interview. Sky, Tom, thanks for joining me. Great races, good luck next week, and we will call it there.
Yeah, I'll see you Sunday, I guess, with the league.
Yes, sir. Alright.
You coming for the tier 2 champion?
Nah, that's Max. It's Max's. Max's to win. Alright, that'll do it from us. Adios, y'all.